Hello guys, in this video I'll introduce you to MySQL or SQL queries. It's an introductory part. I open the example control panel. There you're going to see this Apache, this MySQL. You need to start Apache server in MySQL so that you can use XAMPP. So there you start both services. Click on admin tab to open a phpmyadmin page, user interface. So you can create the database by entering the database name, clicking on create here, and then the database will be created. Or you can use a query. You open the query window and enter, like this time, I want to create a database called business underscore DB. You can enter that in the query window. After we created the database, you can even start creating tables. Like in this case, a database I've created is business DB. So I want to create a table for that database. I can write some query to create a database called products with an ID and then a product name and a category of the product, and then the brand, can also the description of the product. And here it's auto increment, this primary key, and then the varchar, the number of characters I want for the name, and the category varchar, which is needs 50 characters. The brand also needs 50 characters. Then this text where you have a description. Yeah, so you can create a table like this, and then you can click on go to create the table. As you can see, the table has been created. You can also create a table by clicking on new, and then be given a field where you can enter the table name. Like here, the prices, then you can specify your ID, specify that it's a primary key. You're going to auto increment, specify auto increment, include other fields like product ID, which is a foreign key in this prices table. Then you can also enter the unit price, which is a decimal, currency. So that's how you can create fields using the interface. If you don't want to use the query window, successfully created the table, the prices table, and the products table in our database called business DB. This is the database we're going to use. The database is called business underscore DB, and we're going to run MySQL using this tab. Written SQL is going to allow us to enter some SQL queries. So we click on the tab, open the query window, and let's just navigate through the tables we have: customers table, inventory table, prices table, and products table. And the fields we have for customer table, you can see we have fields city, country, customer, date joined, email, full name, and phone. Inventory table, we have inventory ID, last updated, product ID, which is a foreign key, and we have a quantity available and warehouse location. We have a prices table where we have the type of currency, effective date, price ID, which is the primary key, and the product ID, the foreign key, unit price for each product. Then we go to the product table where we have the brand of the product, the category, the description of the product ID, the product name. We get started with the queries. Always select the database you're using. In our case, we have this database called business underscore DB. To select everything, use the asterisk, meaning you're selecting everything from the customers table. Down there, there's a go you can click on to run your query. So those are my results from my customers table. My 25 results. I only have 25 rows. These are my customers. My next query, trying to filter using the where clause. I'm trying to filter using the where clause, and I'm using the business underscore DB. So what I'm doing here, I want to select customers from the country code India. So here we have the name of the table I'm selecting from, and the where clause, and the column name from the customers table called country, and I want customers from India. So let's run the query, and we have our result there in the query window where we have all customers from the country called India. I want to select from the products table everything, where the category is go to electronics, demonstrating the use of the where clause. From this table called products, there's a column called category. From the category column, where category is electronics. We run our query. There we have our result in the query window where we have the category column of electronics or the products in the category of electronics. The next query, you're selecting everything from the products table and want to order by brand or result. You found something we've ordered by brand here. So you have Logitech. This time, so you're selecting everything from the customers table. Want to order by the date joined, and I want to have the results in a descending order, starting with the latest date. So we run our query. So we have our results starting from the latest date in a descending order. We want to limit the results we want to output, and we are selecting from our customers table the order by the date joined and descending order on 8 rows. So when we run our query, we have the 8 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we are using aggregate functions here. We want to look at the count, average, sum, minimum, and maximum. The count function, we use the word count and select everything from our products table. And then we use an alias. This is an alias, what we want to label the column. So when we run, see that this is our alias to the products, and we have 25 products. The next query, you want to calculate the average. Want to calculate the average unit price from prices table. I'm using the average function, one of the aggregate functions. Then I'm using an alias, a column name, after calculating the average from the prices table. After executing my query, so this is my average price, and the alias we used average price. The next query will help us to sum quantity available from our inventory, the total quantity in our inventory. So we run the query, see the total quantity we have in our inventory. So that's our total quantity in inventory, 2,135. We go to the next aggregate function, but we're trying to find here, we're trying to calculate the maximum unit price from our prices table and using the alias maximum price. So we execute our query, then we get our maximum price as 200. Let's check what we have in our inventory table by selecting everything. The warehouse where the inventory is located, then the quantity, then we have the date when the inventory was last dated, and then we have a foreign key, which is the product ID and inventory ID. To demonstrate the group by and having clauses, select the column name is a warehouse location. Want to also sum the quantity available at this particular warehouse, and then we're using an alias as total quantity, getting our results from the inventory table, grouping our results by where the warehouse is located. So execute our query. So there we go, we have each warehouse location and the quantity at that particular warehouse. Just looking at the group by and having clause. Want to show a category with more than 2 products. So when we run our query, those are the categories. We have 3 categories with more than 2 products. Here we are demonstrating the joins, using joins. This is the left join, which is the most common used. The columns I'm selecting from the products table, and here the column I'm selecting from the prices table. So I'm using an alias. Instead of saying product here, just using P as an alias, then prices table. Instead of using prices, the word prices, I'm using PR for the prices table, even here. This sets the products as the main table I'm querying from. Here I'm performing an inner join between the prices table and the product table. So where the product ID in the products table matches the product ID in the prices table. The unit price and the type of currency, which will be can insert using the insert statement. I'll show you how to insert. Next, let's look at subqueries. Subqueries, so we want to select the product ID, the unit price, from the prices table. So here we want to select the unit price from the prices table greater than the unit price. So the subquery is enclosed within the parentheses, mediated by a colon. Execute that query. So that's our result. So unit price greater than average unit price. This time we look at an insert statement, or to insert items in the table. We want to insert customer ID, city, country, date joined, email, full name, and phone number. We want to insert into a customer's table. So you have to list all the column names, but if your ID is auto-increment, you don't have to list to include the ID if it's auto-incremented. So in my case, first time my ID is not auto-incremented. So you see here, if you don't include the ID, you get an error. So when execute, see that column count doesn't match value count at row 1. So we can do that. We see that when we look at our ID column, look at our customers table, look at customer ID. Here it just said it's the primary key and it's int. Our ID is not auto-incremented, so that means we have to insert the customer ID manually. Executing. We have one row affected, which means we have inserted this new customer in our called John Bando in our customers table. Select everything from our customers table to see our newly inserted data. So we need to increase the number of rows. We can only view up to 25. Let's increase to, and then see the one we inserted, this one, the end with the ID we inserted manually. Let's go back and change our customers table so that we can just auto increment our ID without doing it manually. So we want to alter the customers table so that we include an auto increment feature, so that we don't have to insert the ID manually. So we want to find our customer ID, and then want to have an int type, and want to have that to be incrementing automatically. So that's why we're using auto increment. Executed our query. Okay, here you see now we don't have to specify the ID, and here we don't have to specify the ID after running the query. See that one row inserted. Let's select everything and just verify the inserted row. So select everything from our customers table. Select everything from the customers table. Scroll down to the bottom. Our ID is auto incremented from the one inserted manually, the 1001 to 1002 gender. This time we want to demonstrate the update query. We want to update products table. And to update the products table, and we are changing the product name to Smart TV 55 inches, where the product ID is 3. If you don't put the where clause, it will update everything. So execute our statement. One row affected. We select everything from products table and see the result. So where our ID is 3, there we have our Smart TV 55 inches updated. Demonstrate the deleting of an item. I want to delete an item where the customer ID is 1001. It's important to put the where clause. Deleting and updating. It's important when you're deleting an item and updating. It's very important to include the where clause. Don't want to delete to update everything or delete everything. Let's see the results. Select everything from the customers table. Let's view, see if our last result is there. So our result where we had our ID 1001 is missing. We've deleted it. We're selecting from a customers table. This time we're only interested in selecting customers from India and USA. We run, That's our results. We have our customers from the countries only from USA and India. I want to demonstrate the use of the wildcard put in front of and before the characters we're looking for in our search. We're looking for a product which may have these characters TV before or after the product name. So we're looking for that to match. So we run, just see that we have one a product. Korean, looking at the product that was last updated in May, and that product must have a quantity greater than 30. So those are products, and these are quantities that are greater than 30. These are products that were updated after May. We have June. Then we can look at another query. Let's take the quantity to 100. Let's just update it one more time. Okay, these are the products with quantities greater than 100. So guys, this is how you can run some basic queries using phpmyadmin. Thanks for watching, and watch out for more videos.